Hi everybody, this is Brianna of Brianna Folds Books, and this is Brianna's Brash and Bookish Life. Brash because that's me, bookish because that's another part of my personality, and also what I do with my hands and my fingers all day long. So if you haven't already, please subscribe, like, follow, comment, share with your friends, please. I'd love to get to 50 followers so that I could start going live, because if I can go live and interact with people, that's really what I love, where I thrive. Show off this personality a little bit more. So one thing to say is we do have a lot of new followers, so let me just introduce myself a little bit more. My business is called Brianna Folds Books because I'm Brianna, only child, so I named it after myself. Very selfish, very cutesy, very mindful, demure. But what I do is I upcycle used books and turn them into works of art. So Brianna Folds Books was born from book folding, which is what started my career, but I do a lot more things, and I'm doing something different on this video today. So the whole point of this channel is to sort of document my life and highlight my business, because I'm a stay-at-home mom. If you hear in the background, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse is playing right now. My daughter is super chill and happy right now. She's like playing with something, TV's on in the background. We're super happy and content right now, and that's awesome. But that's not what it's always like with a 2-year-old in the home, particularly when I'm trying to create or get things ready for shipping or stay organized or do all the things that come with being a small business owner. Take good videos, good pictures. Also, sorry about the light here. The other aspect of our life is that we bought this 125-year-old farmhouse because it's what we could afford in this market. And it's spectacular, has a great big backyard, but this place is an absolute mess. So we haven't gotten any window treatments yet because all the windows need replaced. So I really don't want to take the time to put those things up there when the windows need replaced anyway. But we're saving for a roof first, so window treatments will happen when they happen. And this is the best place for me to work on things that aren't folded book art related. So let's get to what we're actually working on today, 2.5 minutes into this video. Let me pick up for you. I have been making these pumpkin center pieces out of paperback books. Again, I upcycle used books. These are books that are destined for the trash. So please don't come at me in the comments about how could you do this to a book. Please do that on my Facebook business page, Brianna Folds Books, and start that conversation there where I get paid to have conversations. I'll totally have that conversation and earn money for it. Okay, so this one, the pages are painted gold, metallic gold on the edges. That isn't coming through too beautifully on this video. But then on top, I've got these glittery accoutrements, and the piece de resistance is the crystallized book page rose heads. This piece is actually already sold. I put it on a reel on Facebook and it sold in 5 minutes. Thrilling. What a very, very fun thing to happen. And then the person actually ordered a custom as well with golden dragons on it for her dragon loving somebody. Very, very exciting things. So what I'm going to be doing today is making the rose heads so that I can throw them in for crystallization. So let me find a space to put this. And let's bring y'all down here a little bit and work on some rose heads. So what I have done, excuse me, is I'm working with the scraps from having made mini mushrooms. The mushroom is pretty narrow, so I'm left with a lot of leftover paper. This is a smaller size than I usually make for the rose heads, but I think it'll work really well for both the standard and the mini pumpkins. The standard stands 6.5 inches tall. The minis are 3 inches. So we're gonna make a bunch of this size right now. So what I've done is created the form, which is from, let me find the folds, folding up in a certain way the scrap, cutting those petals, and then you're unfurled with these sort of daisy shapes. But each flower requires 4 flowers, and then I use all of these little segments. So I'm just going to do it, and then I'm going to go back and explain. For these, because they're going into crystallization, which is dunking them in water, I'm not worried about curling the petals to make them really look like the way that rose petals unfurl. That's going to uncurl anyway. So I'm just putting these together, and then I'll stack. Using hot glue. I will probably burn myself at some point. If I swear, so sorry. That's where the brashness comes from. My mommy raised me well, but I am who I am. Don't need this one. And this one, oh golly, I probably should have something to help me curl it, but let me see if I can do it with my fingers. This is going to be the stamen. Oh, I got that one on the first try. I usually really struggle to pronounce that word. It's just not a word that really rolls off the tongue. There we go, it's rolling. All right, this one's rolled together for the stamen. Put some glue on that. Get it in this middle one, little one. All right, and then I start stacking these in together. I've cut the tips off so that these can all stack into each other. And I'll do some crunching right as they go. But these will all go together to make a flower. And then if I wanted it, I'm left over with this one to have a little leaf. Okay, so that one's ready to be glued together later, but let me show the process and be done with this video. Okay, so we've got 4 of these, and then I cut 4 petals. Don't need that other half. 3 petals. 2 petals. Alaska, you okay? Oh, yeah. Alaska was, my daughter's name is Alaska. I'm not referring to the state. And 1. Okay. She was sitting in her plushy Elmo chair and literally just fell over backwards. Baby, you okay? Did you hit your head? You're struggling to get up. Oh my gosh. What are you slipping on? Oh, now she's just laying on the ground. Okay, back to work. Okay, so if I'm being mindful, I will select the one from which I cut 1. Glue that together, the one from which I cut 2, so that they're all in order. So I can just stack them together. I only put glue down here at the bottom. If I glue that whole petal, it'll be oddly stiff and not curl, and I don't like that. All right, the one from which I cut 3. make sure that's together. 4 is a half. Working with paper, you sort of figure out the best way to get that to curl around. This one, it took me a while to figure out the 3 petals, to just fold that over, glue, and trifold. So then it's glued on one side and then it opens. All right, I don't need this one right now, but I'll have a collection of petals if I decide to add petals to something. When I curl the edges, I usually use a Q-tip with the one end cut off to curl the pages around, and that's particularly nice for the stamen piece. But I found that if I use my fingernail to curl, you know, like ribbon, I can get a decent little curl here and then try to move it with my fingers. But this is being a little obnoxious. There we go. And curl, curl, curl. Curl, curl, curl. Okay. A little glue. I'll add that into here. It'll open up a little bit. That's great. But I do that first so I don't lose those small pieces. And now we start stacking. Did I put them in order? I sure did. Okay, so the biggest one is our bottom. Then I glue around that cut hole. Put it together. Try to stagger the petals and crunch it in so that it slides in there nicely. Next, this one doesn't have a very big hole. That's what she said. Gross. Try to stagger. Some of them are going to meet each other because this doesn't have too much of a hole. I'm really putting it in there. Glue. Next. Oh, this one came sort of unglued. But that's okay. Especially for crystallized ones. That is just fine. Because the crystals will fill in the gaps. Shove that bad boy in there. Crunch, crunch, crunch. And then this guy that has the stamen in it, this will need the most crunching. And I put this one over the tip with glue too. Not just around the hole. And then once it's in there, I sort of crunch all around and make sure we're set. And there we've got a nice little cute little rose. It looks more rose-like when it's curled for sure, but the pages will be affected by crystallization, water, and borax. And there you go. Cute little rose. I'll be doing this for at least an hour because I've got these little sections of 4 all around the table. I think I've got enough to make 30. And the entire process of segmenting the like portion of paper I'm working with, folding them, cutting the petals, sorting them into 4s, cutting the petals, arranging and gluing and stacking together for each flower, regardless of size, takes about 5 minutes per rose. I have timed processes. I have done math. Let me show you me again. I've timed the process. I've done the maths. I don't ever time myself doing it until I've done it many times and feel comfortable with it, because when I'm setting a price, I'm not setting a price on a beginner's task. I am setting the price on a competent artist's task. So that's what's going on here today. Thanks so much for watching. Again, if you made it this far, subscribe, like, comment, talk to me. I'd love to respond back. I'd love for this group to be shared, not group, page, channel to be, hold on a second, to be shared, and hopefully there's much more content coming as YouTube cooperates with me and videos actually get uploaded. Right now it's taking like 2 hours for a video to upload, so dude, it is what it is. All right, love y'all, bye.